Guys, we're going to be discussing how to smash credit card debt. Now, everyone has gone through this, not just me, my friends, colleagues, generally anyone I know once in your lifetime or a few times. Maybe you have had a little bit of debt or a substantial amount of debt. So I want to just provide some tips, what kind of steps you can approach to address the debt, so the situation feels a little bit more easier to deal with. Now guys, I've just redone this video. The first time I had an issue because there was a fan in the background, so I'm hoping you cannot hear that fan, because if you can, then I messed up my second video. And excuse this microphone, it's just moving around and it's really irritating me. So let's see how this video goes, but I'm hoping it'll go better than the first one, guys, and I can actually get these tips out to you. So without further ado, let's get into this video. Right, so before we get into the video and I'll provide you with the tips, of course, if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, I appreciate I haven't done many videos, but I would sorry, I've got a bad throat. I'll keep a constant flow of videos going. So yeah, I would appreciate you subscribing to my channel, alongside which, if you like the video, hit the like button and yeah, share this video to your friends. It will greatly help me out. So this is a topic I've been wanting to discuss for a while, because I've been through this situation where I've incurred debt and I didn't really know how to deal with the debt, because if you don't deal with it head on, it can make your situation very complicated. It can affect so many different things, you know, like mortgage applications, credit card applications, and if you do need an emergency loan for whatever scenario, you could probably get one, but the interest rate would be ridiculously high. So firstly, the first tip I want to start off with is you need to do a credit report check. Why? Because essentially you need to establish your current situation. How are your finances looking? What is your credit score at the moment? If it's dropped a lot, why is it dropped? What is the overall credit you have borrowed from, say, credit cards or any other thing that's affecting you? So you need to have that oversight in terms of your finances, so you know, okay, I'm going to have like a three-prong approach to this, or six-prong approach to this. You can have like a plan in place, but without checking your credit score and the situation that's affecting it, you're not going to know where to start, and you're not going to have a clue how it's affecting you in different areas of your life. One being your credit score, because that's pretty important to everything, I guess. So once we have a credit check in place, we've seen the situation that's affecting the credit score. Remember the implications. You can't get credit cards. If you get credit cards, high interest credit cards. If you get loans, again, can you get a loan? You know, would you be declined, or would it be a high interest loan? Emergency situations where you need a loan, high interest. To avoid that situation occurring, where, you know, you're going to be basically put to the side and only expensive things or expensive products are going to be an offer, or you'd be declined completely, you need to have goals set in place to attack the debt. If the debt example is £10,000 on your credit card, how long are you going to take to clear that debt? So is it going to be 6 months? Is it going to be 8 months? Once you've established a period, you need to basically do like kind of a budget. Like you need to see where your finances are at. So budget tracker, you can get a sheet from Etsy. You can use lots of apps that can essentially track your budget. So you can see where there's cash going, where you can probably cut the flow of cash going, subscriptions, clear those up, you know, tidy up your finances. So essentially where money doesn't need to go, or it's just not a mandatory requirement, you could stop the flow of money there. And then obviously things like also coffee, once you see at the end, for example, okay, now I'm saving another £100 more, you can use that £100 as an extra means to put towards your debt. So that's how you need to be thinking and kind of planning. But without doing some kind of goals, you're going to be a bit over the place because you're going to have nothing to essentially work towards. And you don't want to be going like willy-nilly into a situation. You need to have goals in place that you can adhere to or stick to. And obviously, if you miss it here or there, you can retrack and set a plan again. But without having anything in place, you don't know if you're going to clear it in a year or two. And it might be the case you never even clear it. So download a budget tracker, guys. There's plenty of areas where plenty of websites where you can download it, and yeah, set some goals. So we've done the credit check, we've done what do you call it, the goals, we've got some kind of budget tracker in place. Hopefully the next thing you should look to do, or maybe consider, it may be not an option for everyone, is consolidating your debts. So if you've got 2 credit cards, right, 10,000, 5,000, and you can consolidate that into one debt. So find another credit card, a balance transfer card, which some offer really good promotions. I've seen some do it for 18 months, 0% interest. There might be an upfront charge to do the transfer, but on the whole, you're saving a fair bit of interest. So for example, if the interest on one card is £100 a month, that's £1,200 a year. That's too much, right? You need to look for ways to save it. So consolidating your debt might be a useful or a considerable option in this case. Do some research. If you go into Google and you just search best balance transfer cards, have a look at the options there. And then sometimes even through your credit report, you can essentially, there's like say ClearScore, Experian, they can sometimes find the best credit cards because they evaluate your credit score and see what is the best for you in terms of balance transfer. So that's another consideration, a worthwhile consideration, of course. But yeah, some people might not be optimistic about that because they want to stay with their current credit card provider. So whether, you know, you prefer that company, or it's easier for you to pay them, or you've just got used to it. I mean, if that's the case, then this may not be an option for you, but it's definitely a worthwhile consideration so you can save the interest payments that you need to make every single month. The last point. So this is a question that everyone usually has, is when it comes to attacking the credit card debt, should you be paying the minimum amount or should you be paying extra? Now, I would always suggest if you have some kind of extra cash flow or budget tracker, you've reduced some expenses in some areas, maybe you have some cash flow left, using that extra cash flow to paying extra, because essentially that's going to make you clear the debt quicker, right? But in some cases, people are just struggling. So it might be that after doing your budget tracker, reviewing how to organize your finances, doing a health check, you realize there's still very minimal cash flow, like in terms of surplus. I mean, in that case, worst case scenario, keep to the minimum payment. I have friends that can easily afford to make the whole payment every month. So it depends on your situation. If you can afford to make a bigger payment or a minimum payment, I would suggest doing not the minimum, doing much more extra. But I can't assess your finances. You know, I'm not sure what your financial position is at. So everyone's financial position is substantially different. In that case, make the minimum payments. Maybe a couple months down the line, you do have some surplus or extra cash flow. I do suggest if you're just able to make the minimum payments, maybe you should look to do something on the side. So a job, try to find methods of passive income, because otherwise making the minimum payment especially if you don't consolidate your debt and you have the interest added on, making your life even more difficult, this debt is going to take substantially longer to clear. And it might be that you will never clear it because the interest just keeps adding on and on. And yeah, it's just basically a spiral. It's going to become a little bit difficult in that sense. So if you can find something or look at passive income videos. I think I'm going to do one soon as well. So give some suggestions in terms of passive income methods you can consider. Do some of those. It might be that they help towards your situation in terms of providing extra cash flow and, you know, helping you eliminate those debts. So do always look outside. Try to open your cash flow, have more coming in, because you're obviously aware your situation isn't good. And especially if the credit card debt is significant and you're struggling, then it's maybe time you do look to gain extra income elsewhere. But yeah, again, everyone has to assess the situation. Do they have time to do this extra income? Because people have family and commitments, so I totally understand. So it depends on your individual circumstances. But sorry, my throat's kicking off. But yeah, have a look into it and see, you know, what are the options out there. Right, so that's the options I want to discuss with you. There are other options, but I don't really find them kind of useful for this video, so they didn't really get mentioned. But I think if you implement these methods I've discussed and kind of review and assess, carry out a health check on your finances, see what can be done, you know, how you can address this using those points, it can make your life a little bit easier. Of course, feel free to ask me questions in the comments below. I'll be more than happy to kind of address your points. And yeah, let me know what you thought of this video. And if you did enjoy this video, hit the like button, subscribe, hit the subscribe button below. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. And if there's any specific topics that you want me to discuss, or anything that there's a common interest for everyone, in terms of like there's a similar question that everyone, or video everyone wants kind of like discussed, I'll be more than happy to do it if you let me know down below. Yeah. Thank you for watching this video. I appreciate the time you've taken to watch it, and I'll see you very soon in the next video. So take care, guys. Bye.